Good morning, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for September 24th, 2014, Wednesday morning around 7:07 in the morning. Hump Day. Happy Rosh Hashanah. It starts tonight at sundown. Some news to report. The Tampa Bay Rays beat the Boston Red Sox by the score of 6-2. And the Montreal Canadiens beat the Boston Bruins by a score of 3-2 in preseason action at the Bell Center. The Montreal Canadiens scored 48 seconds left in the game. Also, the Los Angeles Dodgers' magic number to clinch the National League West is down to 1. The New York Yankees' tragic number to be eliminated from postseason play is down to 1. And also, the Pittsburgh Pirates clinched a spot in the playoffs last night. Second straight year the Pirates are going to the playoffs. And Carolina Hurricanes center Jordan Staal broke his leg in a preseason game last night against Buffalo Sabres. He's going to be out indefinitely. That's a tough break for the Hurricanes. And my first video blog of the day is about television stations throughout the country, general managers not picking up game shows to add to their syndicated lineup at all. Many stations' general managers over the past 25 years has not picked up any game shows that much from the NAPTA convention in January to showcase new shows from the upcoming syndicated seasons. For the past 25 years, it's mainly talk shows have been dominating the syndicated-ish scenes airwaves throughout the country, and the talk show genre is kind of like at the stage where it's kind of, in my opinion, reached the peak, and it's kind of falling a little bit out of favor because there's a lot of talk show hosts who are retiring. Like Oprah Winfrey's show went off the air 3 years ago. Jerry Springer and Maury Povich are up in their 70s, so they will not be around too much longer hosting talk shows. Also, Dr. Phil's in his mid-60s. He's probably not going to be around forever. And other ones that probably might not be around forever. And, many of these talk shows last maybe a couple of years and stuff like that, and then they fade away. And many of these stations do not want to try to add a game show to their lineup because, first of all, game shows have been kind of out of favor for the syndicated market for the past 25 years. There's hit syndicated shows like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy and Family Feud and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. They're brand names, but the station managers kind of refuse to, add a game show because they think a talk show is much better to be produced, and many of these stations are waiting for the next Oprah Winfrey to take over the ratings and stuff and like that. But there's not going to be a next Oprah Winfrey for talk show hosts with the ratings. And the highest rating talk shows are Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz, and both of them were regulars on the Oprah Winfrey show, and you don't have regulars on other talk shows for daytime talk shows that kind of would spawn a hit talk show they had a regular on the Maury Povich show, Trish Godwick. She had her own talk show, but that only lasted 2 years. It was plagued by low ratings, and many syndicated shows, if you get a rating of at least 1.0, you're considered a hit in this day and age because of a lot of so many channels now. And if you get a syndicated rating of a 1, you're a hit show. And many game shows have been introduced through syndication in the past 25 years. None of them have sticked around long term except Family Feud and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire over 10 years. And many of them maybe have a shelf life of 3 to 5 years. I think the longest one was Hollywood Squares. That was 6 years. It was hosted by Tom Bergeron from 1998 through 2004. I think the only way a game show is going to be that stations managers across the United States is going to be picked up if it's a brand name and if it's somebody who's a major host, a major star hosting a game show, that's the only way, like, the syndicators, the television stations throughout the country are going to pick up a game show for syndication if it's a brand name, and if it's a major star hosting it, if it's a like a name that nobody's heard of, the station's managers aren't going to pick up that game show. And it's sad, though. It's sad because game shows were real popular in the 70s and 80s in syndication. They flooded the market, but many of the television stations' general managers saw like grew up without a major hit game show syndication throughout the years, and that's sad because game shows are kind of, in my opinion, primed for a comeback in syndication. Many people are saying that for years, that they're primed for a comeback, and I think there's a possibility you might see game shows flood the syndicated market in due time, because, you know, many of these talk show hosts are aging and stuff, and it's kind of a genre that's kind of, you know, peaked out, and it's kind of, you know, fading away. And I think maybe we might see a game show hit, a breakthrough game show hit in syndication within the next few years. There's one that's debuted this year called The Celebrity Game, hosted by Craig Ferguson. He's a big name, but, you know, the preliminary overnight ratings for the first week aren't promising, and that sucks, because you probably need, you know, a brand game show name, like a revived game show name, and plus a big, like, name from the world of entertainment to host it. Somebody like Jay Leno, who retired, but he probably would be a decent game show host if he hosted a revived version of the match game, and the syndicators could shop it around the United States for television stations, and the station's managers will probably pick it up if it's introduced and stuff like that. And hopefully within the next few years we could see all game shows back. It's dominating the syndicated market, but it's going to be very tough because the station's managers of the United States for all across the country are waiting for that next Oprah Winfrey. There's not going to be a next Oprah Winfrey at all, which will garner major ratings. You're not going to see that. It's done. And that's about it on that. And my next subject is going to be my Week 4 NFL predictions. Have a good day, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. Bye now.